Hi, let's get this thing going. So, what were you thinking? Network or home turf? Okay, how many people? Okay, what exactly is it you're going? Great, got it. So, does your ass need instructions? No instructions? No problem. I'm sure you're anxious for the fancy pot-picking spectacle. Be off with you.
Choose your alter ego.
Dimension where high culture and pop culture collide.
Hey, it's the red episode. You know, without the color red, America's flag would simply be white and blue. Just you? This is all? You're it? Well, I guess I have the time. Okay, boot camp's over. Time for battle. Okay, you want a value for the next question? Just buzz in. The reward for this question is $17.50. Shake hands with the Star Strangled Banner. You know, I was thinking that it might be nice to start this episode off with a singing of the Star Spangled Banner. So I've invited my cousin Eddie to sing the song for us. Don't worry, he's a professional. But please try not to laugh at him, okay? He accidentally had his testicles bitten off by a Doberman as a boy, and, well, he's kind of sensitive to the... Oh, here.
Hi there, Schmitty. Are we all ready?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
What's so funny?
Nothing. Just a thing I thought of. Okay, whenever you're ready.
A 1, a 2, a 3. Oh, say, can you see? By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were... Oh, no! What words come before in the rocket's red glare? Twilight's last gleaming...
Let me get this for you, Eddie. Twilight's last gleaming, flag was still there, bursting in air, or gallantly streaming. Gallantly streaming.
Thanks. Gave proof to that night that a flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land... Oh, no! Who let the dog in here? Ah!
Time to choose a value. Let's see the amount on this one. 2,250 smackers. The category? You may have 3 wishes and a side of fries. Okay, let's go. Suppose Jeannie from I Dream of Jeannie moves into a Heinz ketchup bottle. According to Heinz, how should Major Nelson release her? Pat the bottom with a butter knife. Run the bottle under hot tap water, tap the bottle on the 57, or jam a french fry up the neck and wiggle it. The number 57 is embossed right on the neck of the Heinz ketchup bottle. To get the tomatoey wine flowing, just tap gently. You know, the only thing that could make Barbara Eden look sexier to me were if she were standing in a big puddle of ketchup. And maybe if she had some liver pate in her navel. Pick an amount. Here's what you can win on this one. $12.50. Get yourself ready for Doofus the Purple. Eyes forward, we're going. If Eric the Red had named the place he discovered after himself, which of these would be true? The Black Hills would be the Red Hills, the Red Sea would be the Eric the Red Sea, Greenland would be Redland, or St. Petersburg would be St. Ericsburg. Ironically enough, Eric the Red discovered Greenland. He was also responsible for developing the original pilot for Green Acres. Only in his version, a wacky pig teams up with Odin, the god of war, and they ride across the land, raping and pillaging. Grab a value. This question comes out to around $27.50. Your category is going to be The Single Guy's Guide to Women. Flex those fingers, here it comes. Imagine Sam Malone from Cheers loses his little black book. He replaces it with a little red data book. Whom will he be calling for dates? Suspected communists, endangered birds, most wanted criminals, or aliens? The red data book is a list of the endangered species.
I wouldn't date you if you were the last yellow-bellied sapsucker on Earth.
Take a value. Let's see what the total amount on this one is. $4,000. Let's see what we got going. Houses are cheap when you're playing with rubles. Okay, so when you're playing Monopoly, apparently you can only build a hotel on properties that you own, right? In case you haven't guessed by now, you'd be well served to keep that in mind for this one. Say you're playing the Russian version of Monopoly, and the only square you own is the red square. Where would you not be allowed to put a hotel? Inside the Kremlin, on top of Lenin's tomb, in back of St. Basil's Cathedral, or next to the Bolshoi Theater? Moscow's red square is bordered by the Kremlin, Lenin's tomb, St. Basil's Cathedral, and the GUM department store. The Bolshoi Theater is elsewhere. You want to know the coolest thing about Russian Monopoly? The game pieces. They got a bear, a loaf of bread, a nuclear... Buzz in for the value. Okay, now we're talking. $11K. Hey, guess what it's time for?
It's time for
Remember, the faster you solve the rhyme, the more cash you're going to make. The opening value for this one is $11K. Okay, now for this gibberish question, I want Jimmy to come in here. Send Jimmy in. All right? Okay, everybody, this is my personal assistant, Jimmy.
What's up?
You see, Jimmy owes me a little money, and I figure this might be a way to help pay it off. Okay, Jimmy, could you read this gibberish phrase for everybody out there to rhyme?
Hugh Grant, wet thud, plum collapse.
It's all yours. Type in the answer and then hit return. Yep, you can't get blood from a stone, but you can get blood with a stone.
Ow!
Isn't that right,
Ow!
Jimmy? Huh? Ain't that right? Now where's my money? I
Ow!
want my money.
Ow!
I'm sorry you had to see that. Let's get back to the game, shall we? Pick a value. The price tag on this one is going to be $3,750. Up next, Tonto ain't your water boy no more. Okay, free your mind. Considering his much publicized 1985 broken leg injury, what Washington Redskin might have garnered the nickname Dances Badly with Wolves? John Riggins, Doug Williams, Stephen Davis, or Joe Theismann? My close personal friend Joe Theismann was the Redskins quarterback who broke his leg, and thanks to the magic of instant replay, footage of the bone splintering was shown over and over and over again. Because of his bum leg, he was traded to another team for a couple of sandwiches and some shiny beads. Choose an amount. For this one, I'll give you 2,250 smackers. I'm calling this one 4 out of 5 dentists recommend getting it on. Think fast, it's question time. If Meg Ryan and Kevin Kline from the movie French Kiss had gotten pointers from the actors who shared the first French kiss in a Hollywood movie, who would they have kissed? Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor, Humphrey Bogart and Katharine Hepburn, Warren Beatty and Natalie Wood, or Anthony Perkins and Janet Leigh? My close personal friends Natalie Wood and Warren Beatty were the first to play tonsil hockey on the big screen in Splendor in the Grass. In preparing for their roles, Warren Beatty and Kevin Kline spent countless hours making out. Method actors. Grab that value. The value for this question is going to be $4,250. This category is known as Blood is Thicker Than Cocktail Sauce. Put your head between your knees, because we're going down. Which of these is an actual crustacean that might end up at Red Lobster having to face the music? A jazz lobster, a punk lobster, a swing lobster, or a rock lobster? There you go. What distinguishes a rock lobster from other lobsters is that they're boiled in the sweat of famous rock stars. So don't be surprised if your next meal at Red Lobster tastes like Ted Nugent. Buzz in for your amount. All right, then, let's see what this does for you. $4,000. Time to start swatting bugs. Hello, and welcome to Bug Out. Remember, simply buzz in to kill those bugs that don't belong to the set. We're going to be looking at a final round value of $4,000. Okay, take a deep breath because you're about to see red. Fruits that tend to be red, buzz in when you see one that's not.
Cherry. Muskmelon. Pomegranate. Cranberry.
Tomato.
Granny Smith apple.
Actors in the movie Reds.
Osorvino. Susan Sarandon. Gene Hackman.
Osorvino.
Jack Nicholson. Peter Fonda.
Shades of red.
Crimson.
Carmine.
Chartreuse.
Garnet.
Vermilion.
Countries that border the Red Sea.
Yemen. Morocco.
Saudi Arabia.
The West Indies. Egypt.
Names given to the devil. Members of the Cincinnati Reds Big Red Machine. Leaders of the former USSR. Well, what can I say? You were on fire. Nice job. Go ahead and choose a value. The total for this question is $1,000. Here's a little something I call Carl Sagan, astronomer or cosmic peeping Tom. All right, give me your best shot. What reason would the planet Mars give? I've got ring around the planet. My moon is twice the size of me. I have more gas than any other planet, or I'm covered by a see-through atmosphere. Mars' atmosphere is thin and transparent. That's why she's feeling a little bit naked. Plus, Jupiter hasn't spoken to her since that drunken escapade at the office party. Go ahead and grab an amount. Your value is $4,250. We're calling this one Secretary of Defense Grady. Hey, remember Red Fox from the TV show Sanford and Son? You know, the old crusty junkyard owner and his blind dog who fly through the universe fighting crime, right? Anyway, what did Martin, Richard Johnson, you big dummy, Thomas Jefferson, you big dummy, Aaron Burr, you big dummy, or Hubert Humphrey, you big dummy? Richard Johnson, a.k.a. Lamont, was VP under Van Buren.
Mr. Van Buren, I must let you know that if you do not bring your immediate attention to the trade problem...
Trade problem? Yeah, I see that. Looks like you traded your face with a monkey.
Why, I never...
Pick any amount. The total value for this one is $4,250. Hey, I know. How about spring has boing? All right, put down the Playboy, my friends. You'll need both hands to type because this one is a fill-in-the-blank. Buzz in and type when you know what the hell I'm talking about. If the March centerfold has a red breast, what can we assume? Come on, take it! That's good. Ah, yes, Robin. You'll often find her bobbing along. Time to pick a value. This one comes in at $3,000. Well, what do we have here? The black flag is never a good sign. Okay, so you know how in auto racing they wave a green flag for go and a red flag for stop? Okay, they don't wave a red flag for stop, but they oughta. Anyway. Considering the country's flag design, where would NASCAR drivers probably drive full speed all the time? Ireland, Libya, Greenland, or Iran? Why, it's so simple, it's pure genius. Libya's flag is solid green. Some people may call it boring. The Libyans call it inexpensive to reproduce. Value time. I hope you're strapped in, 'cause here it comes. Well, you've made it to the Jack Attack. Now, you know all about this. All you need is to get a clue. Red hair. Excuse me. Hairball. Well, have mercy! You annihilated that attack! Let's check out what it did to your score! There it is! Hey, way to go! Who knew that playing with yourself could be so rewarding? You see, this is how those dirty, bad, filthy habits start. Now, lean back, close your eyes, and say...
And now, the St. Joseph's Historically Inaccurate Boys Choir.
Oh, Genghis Khan was a merry old man, and a very hairy man was he. And chicken de rotisserie.
Hey, who likes ice cream?
Hi, I'm Steel the...
If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and fry a hen. If you'd like to make a call, don't use a cactus. It will sting.